Hey everyone. All right, let me know if you can hear me now. I had to kind of go in and change the setting. If you can kind of jump back on again, we'll start over. It looks like I have sound now. But why don't you guys jump on and let me know if I do have sound. I have sound. All right, I just posted to see if I have sound. Hopefully you guys will get the message again. Okay, Lindsay, you can hear me now? Just let me know and I will kind of wait a few minutes. We good. All right. Yeah, this stupid thing. Technology drives me nuts. Yeah, so there's like two settings on the back and you have to put the right camera on, then you have to do the built-in mic, and then it was on a different setting. So, okay, perfect. So it looks like we got 4 people on here. Yay, Kenzie, the sound is working now. I'm so glad to see you on here, Kenzie. All right, we're gonna reverse and we're gonna start. So hiring, that's the biggest problem for every company in America. Not only cleaning companies, but like everyone, right? So it's the number one thing people struggle with, because if you don't have employees, you can't service the jobs, and you can only service so many jobs yourself. So I know we have a lot of new people on here tonight. I'm just going to introduce myself. My name is Cheryl Hasher. I founded Sisters Who Scale. I'm a cleaning business coach. I specialize in cleaning businesses, although I do have a couple of service industry businesses that I coach as well. Service industries are sort of similar, but 99.9% I coach cleaning companies. So I also have a residential and a commercial cleaning business myself. I'm still an active owner. I work it in the morning, and then I do my coaching in the afternoon and my lives at night. So I work all the time because I love to work. But more importantly, I love to help people. So my company, I grew it myself. I was a solo cleaner. I grew it from 0 to over 650 and growing. We're actually approaching the 700 mark. In 3.5 years, working about 20 hours a week. The company's grown consistently, about 35% each year. And the best thing is we did it during a pandemic. We came back stronger through the pandemic. And people always ask me, how do we do that? We have a commercial division, a residential division. We just launched the power washing last year, and we just opened it up this week, and we're already getting people in. So how did we do it? So another coach years ago told me that we needed to specialize in one thing, and I proved him wrong. So I'm not going to tell you who that person is either. But we have a second office for cleaning for the residential as well. So for those of you that are tuning in live, or whether you're on a replay, raise your hand, say hello. I always like to see where everyone is from so I can see, where the big community is coming from. We have people from California, Idaho, all the way across from Kansas, down to Texas, the Carolinas, Florida, up to Ontario too, which is pretty cool. Because I always like to see who is on. So how the hell did I do it? All right. How did I figure out how to hire Rockstars for my cleaning company? It took a lot of guts. I am not going to lie to you. Okay. It took guts. It took a lot of trial and error. All right. It doesn't happen overnight. It's not easy, but it can be done. And I'm living proof that it can be done. Okay. The first thing that needs to happen is you need to get over your fear of doing it. This fear is blocking you from hiring. So you think things in your brain like, no one will ever be able to clean like me or deliver the service that I do for my clients. Like, has anyone ever said that before? Show of hands if you have. Show of hands. I want you to put control freak in the chat, because that is what it is. Control freak. So when I was in the field, no one shined the chrome like I did. Nobody staged the house like I did. And nobody cleaned as fast as I did. Why? Because it was my company. So when I had to transition out of the field, it was hard. It was super hard. My OCD control freak side had a real hard time with that. But I was forced to, because I had a back injury that prevented me from physically going in the field and working. So I know some of you complain about aches and pains, and sure, you can do it when you're younger. You can work full-time cleaning houses, but you sure as hell can't do it when you get older, right? Does anyone have any health issues here or body aches when they get out of bed? Anybody here? Write that down in the chat. I'm going to check the chat in a couple of minutes because this was me, right? And this is where my passion comes from to help all of you because this was my story. I had a couple employees at the time, but I was going out and cleaning with them like many of you do. So I had to master the skills of employees and I had to do it fast or else my business was not going to make it. I was going to have to close my doors and get a desk job. And who the heck wants a desk job? I didn't want a desk job. So I was faced with no choice but to figure it out. And that's why I'm trying to help all of you before anything happens, right? So let's talk about this for a second. What happens if you physically can't work in your cleaning business? Now, I'm not trying to scare you by any means, but I'm trying to prepare you early before anything happens. You know, we all get older. So if you have been cleaning in your cleaning business for more than 2 years, you should be working on a plan to get out of the field because those aches and pains come faster for us who were cleaning houses all day long, 5 days a week, than the rest of the people who have desk jobs, okay? All the bending over in the tubs, the dusting the low areas, like when you have to bend, that used to wreck my back. The dusting the low areas, like on a table that has like 2 levels, like that would completely kill me. And that takes a toll on our bodies. It did mine when I dusted my own house today, right? Because I like to clean my house. I still like to clean my house. Of course I do, because I'm a cleaning business owner. But it's like my body has PTSD. Like it immediately starts to ache on my lower back where my injury was the minute I bend down and dust something, right? So you all need to prepare for when your body says, I've had enough. And I can't do this physical work anymore because that's coming. Whether or not none of you want to think that it's coming, it's coming. And it sure as shit is coming for you if it hasn't already. And the only way to stop that from happening is you need to learn how to master the hiring of employees to keep your business. So let me just check in with everyone. I can hear, yep, Victoria. Hi, Victoria. We just had an awesome talk. Victoria and David, they're from Massachusetts. I was so excited. Yep. Hi, Veronica. Disa, yep. Physical pain. Hey, Hillary. Hillary from Tennessee. My right arm hurts. I think you said from vacuuming, right? The sound keeps dropping. Okay, hopefully it's working, Veronica. Yay, we did. Yep, we did. So let's get into this. Grab a piece of paper, a pen. We can kind of talk about this. So step number 1, you need to learn how to write a great hiring ad. It all starts here. This is your first contact with a prospective applicant. So you need to learn how to write a great hiring ad. And this is where you're going to attract the right people to your company because you can't just hire anyone, right? And a lot of times we go into this desperation hiring thing where you need to just hire bodies, right? You need to hire immediately because you don't have enough people to cover the schedule. What do you think is going to happen here? You're more likely to hire every Tom, Dick, and Harry out there and bring that motley crew of people that really don't belong in your company. So are you hiring people who have professional experience? That's number 1. Or do you like to hire newbies that will take much longer to train? However, you can train them according to how you want something done. Some people prefer one or the other. I personally like to hire people that have at least some type of cleaning experience. Anyone that says, oh, I love to clean my house, get rid of them because they don't clean, especially if you're doing residential, they don't clean to the level that your clients are expecting they're getting because they're paying for it, okay? Or if anyone, and this happened to us, if anyone says, how hard can cleaning be? Run for the door. Kick them out of the office, okay? Do not hire them because that is a telltale sign that they don't know what professional cleaning is, okay? And this is a personal experience. Anything I say, when you hear me say something funky like that, it's usually a personal experience that's happened to me. So someone said, how hard can hiring be? And like a dummy, I hired them. What do you think happened? They go in the field, they clean all right. We're like, all right, maybe we can make this work. I end up losing accounts. Don't hire that person. Just listen to me. I'm going to save you a lot of heartache. That was a complete epic fail. Okay? We were desperate. It was around Christmas time one year, and we hired her, and her attention to detail, or lack of attention to detail, I should say, was horrendous. She was bragging about being fast, but all we got was complaints and cancellations. So trust me when I tell you, don't hire someone that says, how hard can cleaning be? And then she ended up lying to us at the end, and she needed time off for a surgery and then couldn't produce a doctor's note. And another thing we don't take in our company, we don't take liars. Why don't we take liars in our company? Because if someone is going to lie to your face, they're going to steal in your client's house. You can't trust them. And that's what I always say in my interviews. We don't tolerate lying, because if you lie to us, I can't trust you to put you in a house with valuables. So things to listen for when you're interviewing. So getting back to the ad, your ad really needs to stand out, because I know a lot of people say no one wants to work. I hear this all the time. And I don't know if it's employee, but like basically I don't fall for that line. Employees have a lot more choices now. Okay, they have more jobs dangling in front of their, in front of their eyes. This bonus, sign-on bonus, that, the other thing. So they're doing what's called, like, they're jumping to jobs because they think that the grass is greener on the other side. So you need to have an attractive headline that's going to appeal to them, that they open up the job, they read through it. If the job sounds fantastic, they're going to press submit resume, okay? Because you're competing against other cleaning companies for staff. So think of it like that. Your ad needs to look better, it needs to be better, it needs to offer some great perks to get that person to submit the application. It's a sale. You are selling this position. Boring ads no longer work, because talented employees have choices, and that's what's happening. And no one ever wants to point the finger at themselves, but the quicker you can do this and analyze what you might be doing wrong, the better off you're going to be, because then you can look better. And so that could be happening. Do I think after all the free money the government gave out changed the work ethic? 1,000% I think of that. Don't get me going on that topic. But boring ads no longer work. You need to learn how to attract the talent, because the talent is out there because people are out there working, because the unemployment rate in this country is around 3.5%. So people are working, they've just migrated to different jobs. So you need to learn how to attract them. So that was number one. Number two is you need to know how to screen your potential candidates. So now you have a stack of resumes in front of you. What the heck do you do with those? You have to screen them. You have to go through all of them. You're going to read the whole resume. You have to spend time with this, because picking the wrong ones can cause you a lot of heartache. So the old saying is slow to hire, quick to fire. That should be your mantra. This is a process you have to take time with. If you have to put your cleaning accounts on hold till the next week to hire the right person, that is what you do. Or go clean it yourself. One of the two, okay? Because you can't just hire anyone. Why? So, I mean, if they can clean, why couldn't I hire them? Maybe you're asking yourself that. What if you didn't have enough time to do that background check and they committed larceny in the past and you don't know it? So you're letting them into your houses of your clients that trust you, and they have a theft record because you were so desperate to hire to get the schedule covered. Think about that for a second. I knew a woman. She wasn't in my company. She was like a friend of mine who had same cleaners for a long time, whatever. All of a sudden had all this jewelry stolen from her house. It was like a couple of days after that they discovered it. Someone had broken into their house, and they figured out that it was a friend of the cleaners that stole their stuff. Think about that, right? I know you're trying to cover the schedule, but you're rushing because you want all the houses covered, right? So you hire this person, then you get a call that one of your clients' family heirloom ring is gone. It's their word against yours. What do? What do you think is going to happen? Well, you don't know a thing about the person you hired because you didn't do a background check, because you were so antsy about hiring someone to cover the schedule, you now become responsible for your clients' rings. Hopefully you have insurance. I mean, I know most of you that I've talked to do, but you're definitely losing that client, and then that client's going to go tell people that they used you and they had a ring salon. So you have to be so careful with this stuff. So now, not only do you have to somehow pay for this heirloom ring, you've lost a client, you've made a mistake that can cost you upwards of $10,000 on your insurance. Now you have a claim, plus your reputation. And again, I don't say these things to scare you, but this is real life. I say these things to educate you, because this is our industry, okay? To protect you from making mistakes that can actually cost you a lot more than you realize. So what if it takes you an extra week to find a better applicant? Isn't that worth it? You can reschedule the client. Of course, nobody wants to be rescheduled. They get all mad because they went around and they picked up their house and they cleaned before the cleaners, right? That happens. But if your clients love your service, they will understand the understaffing reason, because that's all that they're hearing in the news. So they'll know you're not lying about it, right? Way better than hiring some cracker off the street that might be a potential blunder. So you have to really strategically plan to hire. And that's something I teach in my program, how to avoid these major mistakes that you might feel because you're desperate to hire. We don't need bodies. We need good employees who are not just there for a paycheck, but ones that actually give a damn about their quality of work, ones who have ethics, who have great customer service skills, and can be normal people in houses and talk to the clients and make the clients feel at ease. You don't want to hire these crazy people and put crazy people in people's houses, because your clients are going to wonder what you're doing. All right? Ain't this making sense? Put making sense if it is. I'm going to check in back here. Cassandra Lee, Indeed. We've done really well on Indeed. Yep, Indeed. So we have a staff that requests a certain girls, and they tell us they love Amanda or they love Liz because not only do they do a good job, but they trust them in their houses. And that is massive. You can't just hire Billy Bob to go clean Mrs. Smith's house, right? So break this down when you're screening people. Break this down into 3 categories, okay? Number 1 is going to be perfect match. Okay, this is the perfect match. They have cleaning experience. They have great customer skills, service skills. Maybe have management skills from cleaning or from another job. Their work ethic is awesome because they wrote a great cover letter. I hired a girl because she wrote a great cover letter. I was like, oh my God, she didn't have residential cleaning experience. She had commercial cleaning experience. But this cover letter was so impressive that I hired her, right? Why was she a perfect match? She didn't have a license. She had to rely on her husband to drive her to work, and it was like 30 minutes away from the office. But this cover letter was so strong. She wanted to be an asset to someone's company. She went the extra mile to show that to me. So in her first day, she mastered 4 out of 5 tasks, not because she had cleaning experience, because of the willingness to learn the task. Like, my team trainer was blown away by this girl. She was our perfect mold employee from the start, right? She was, because she wrote a great cover letter and had an eagerness to work, but she wasn't because she didn't have a license, she didn't have residential cleaning experience. So sometimes you have to really read these resumes and things that come in, because people could be perfect and you don't really know it. But finding someone with a work ethic is rare, right? We know that's rare. So you're looking for people that want to go the extra mile. So that is perfect match. Now you have number 2, which is somewhat of a match. Okay, this is like medium. What do these people look like? These people are your maybes. Okay, maybe good, maybe not so good. We don't know yet. But don't discard them so quickly. You might have to do a little bit more digging here. This might be when you discover things in the first interview and you have to ask more questions, right? Like what kind of cleaning experience they have. If it isn't listed on their resume, but they say they have 5 years experience, chances are it's somewhere. They just have an old resume on there, okay? So your first interview, when you interview them, is meant to screen out the applicants. So your maybes will have to be screened. You can definitely find some diamonds in the rough. I've interviewed people where I wasn't too thrilled about the interview, and I get on and they're like a total rock star. You just have to be patient. You have to be willing to discover good qualities in a person, and you can find this stuff in the questions you ask. You just need to know the right questions to ask. So some of this is instinct, right? Your gut instinct is going to tell you who's a good person, who's not a good person. Everyone's going to sell you a line of bull in the interview, so you need to know what that sounds like, and you need to be able to like cut through it and use your gut instinct to really develop the skills, so you don't ditch an applicant too quick, which I see a lot of new people that are hiring. They ditch people like too quick, and you really kind of got to sit back and be like, well, let me just take a second look at this person. So that's your maybes, okay? Your number 3 is not at all match. Just avoid them. If you get like 5 people that are not a match, that, you know, some guy's working at like Joe's Bar and Grill and says he's cleaned the grills or whatever, probably not, okay? These people don't have any cleaning experience. They don't have a car. They have a habit of jumping job to job. Don't even bother with those people. If you see someone that's been at a job a month, 2 months, 3 months, not staying in one place, moving from different states, you know, that's kind of common too. Or if they've had a long period between jobs, they milked the COVID money. We all know what that looks like. Let's just call a spade, right? This is going to show they don't have a great work ethic. You don't want these people. Don't desperate hire. These are the desperate hiring people, okay? So it's your job to effectively screen everyone out before they get to the first interview. And you're going to mess up. You're going to bring in some train wrecks, all right? It's just the process. You have to be comfortable with the process. You have to trust the process. You have to learn the process of getting to be an expert hirer. It's not going to happen overnight. Is it going to happen? Yes, but it's not going to happen overnight. So you might as well just jump in, start making some mistakes, and get it going. Okay. Step number 3. I don't know about you guys, but my allergies are like killing me, and like all of a sudden it's like the end of March, early April, and I'm like dying. So I apologize for that. Step 3 is training and onboarding. I work with a lot of cleaning business owners, and some have training and onboarding programs and some don't. Some think they have good training programs, but they might need a little tweaking, and that's totally normal. That's okay. No one gets this 100% right out of the gate, unless you own Merry Maids, and we all know that Merry Maids doesn't get it right 100% of the gate either. So this is a thought out strategic process. It's a planned event that happens from the moment they show up, from the first day, and you have to have these things in order. You can't really wing this stuff. So do you have an onboarding and an orientation process? Or are you just saying to people, okay, show up for work on Monday, we'll take you out in the field? Like, what does that look like? You're onboarding, they have to bring their necessary forms of ID. Do you have apps they need to download, like your Maid software? Do you do training videos they need to watch before you go out in the field? Everyone does it slightly different, but this needs to be a total preparation and a thought out process that can be duplicated over and over and over again and be tweaked when necessary. You're not going to write something and it's going to be perfect and you're going to do it for 20 years. You're going to change things and morph things, and this is totally fine. It's totally normal, so don't stress out. You can always upgrade things, okay? That's onboarding. Now, your training. Every Maid company probably has some sort of a training manual or a process they follow, but is it effective? If you're in the field cleaning yourself, you probably just know it by hand. You just go out, you train people by visual. Some people learn all different types of ways. Some are audio, some are visual. Some need to watch it 20,000 times. Some need to watch a video. Some can read something and get it. Some just have to go in and dive in and do it. So this is also something you also cannot just wing. It has to be thought out. It has to be done in steps. So you can't just throw a newbie in the ring and expect them to catch on to everything. So think of it like this. You and your teams have been doing this for years. You've developed a system and you took some time to develop that system. So a new person can be intimidated by this. So a step-by-step training program where they get rewarded along the way is a good idea to have. So if you are finding that people are having a hard time grasping your training, take a second look at it, right? Take a second look at your training program. Send out a survey. See where your cleaning techs think there could be improvement. There is no shame in that, because getting valuable feedback, number one, they're going to respect you for asking you questions, but number two, it's going to help you make your training program better. So in my company, my trainees usually grasp it within the first week. They show improvements immediately. Usually the next day they come in and have grasped a lot of what was taught the first day. If they don't grasp it in the first week, they usually don't make it. I kind of sometimes like to say you either get it or you don't. Some people take a little bit longer. You don't want to throw them out the window, whatever, but if they're just bombing the whole first week, chances are it's not a good fit for them, and you need to cut them loose. You need to put them out to pasture because it's not the right company. But there can be a lot of gray area here. Like, you think you're training correctly, but are you really? Are you relaying on the information to them in a way they can understand it? If you're burnt out with dealing with employees, there could be a chance you're not training correctly, right? There could be a chance you're giving out some negative energy that you don't even realize you're giving out. This happens. This is normal, okay? So it's always a good idea to get a second set of eyes on it to make any changes necessary. And number 4 is you got to be a good boss. Do you think you're a good boss? Let me know. Put in the chat. I'm going to check in here after a second. How's your poker face? Do you have one? Or do you wear all your emotions on your sleeve? People can pick up on this stuff. It is super hard to develop a poker face because we as bosses all suffer from disappointments in employees. It's just the nature of the business. Maybe you're giving off negative energy. Like I said, you don't even realize you're doing it. This is normal. It's more common than you think. And one of the main reasons why some people aren't able to retain employees. You have to watch your body language, your energy. You know, even if you have to fake being happy in the morning, you just have to fake being happy in the morning. Maybe you have that resting bitch face. I've been told I have a resting bitch face. And you guys don't see that because I'm all smiley and happy on here. People have told me that before. I've had to work on my resting bitch face, right? So like when someone needs a day off, it's a heavy day schedule-wise, right? And you just can't contain your emotions and you want to scream. You have to take a deep breath here and figure out a way not to show your emotion. And you have to go into problem-solving mode and how you're going to fix the schedule. I know it's crappy. You never can really let them know how you're feeling. You have to maintain calm, collective self, even though you might want to scream. I mean, I know it's not easy. They can make you want to pull your hair out. Unless they pull some freak show in the office and you have to show authority to the other staff to make sure the other staff are respecting you, that you won't tolerate craziness. Try and keep it together, okay? Becoming a boss is a skill. It's an art form for sure. It's not easy. It's going to take time, but I assure you, anyone can get there. If you're willing to do the work, you can get there. Let me check in and see what the answers were here. Hey, Jennifer. Got to run. Hi, Veronica. You screen over the phone. Judy, we do Zooms. That's how we do it. LOL. Yep. Victoria. There is a license. A license. Melissa Dory. Hi. I think Kenzie recommended you, right? I think she said I was just talking to her and she said that she sent someone my way. So hello. What do you mean by license? Just let me know what you mean by license. Even if it's after everything's over. So these are the 4 steps, okay? The 4 steps, I'll go over them again. Number 1 is write a great hiring ad. Number 2 is knowing how to screen your potential candidates. Number three is let me see, what is number 3? Number 3 is training and onboarding. And number 4 is being a good boss. Okay. So I hope this information was helpful. Even if you're catching it on replay, let me know you're catching it on replay. If you are having hiring issues yourself in hiring employees in your business and you don't know where the disconnect is, we should have a chat. I think I may possibly have one spot left for private coaching, but I'm not sure because I actually had a couple of calls today, so I'm not sure if I have that one spot left. So I am also working on a group program because I'm basically maxed out with private clients because there's only so much time in a day. So what does that look like? I've started a wait list. I think I have 10 people on the wait list so far for the group program. It's an all-inclusive membership program. It has a membership portal with a login to access all the information. It's a 4-month program, so it's 16 weeks. It's weekly check-ins, right? So there's work. I give work in my course. So you have to submit certain things, okay? So there's weekly submissions for work. It's a check-in with me 1 day a week. So you get everything you need all in one place. If you can't make the Zoom, you still are able to submit your work. I look it over and I answer you back. Okay, so it's always some sort of a check-in. It's great if you can make the lives because you get so much more value if you can actually be on the live. So it's a 4-month program, 16 weeks. We meet for weekly check-ins. If you want more information about the group program, I can send out a form. I'll actually post it on like the top. I like post it in the thread, like in the discussion of the group. All you would do is fill out your name, your email. I'll put you on the list. It's going to be so amazing because I'm going to be able to help more people, which is my mission, because I only have so many hours in the day to do private clients. But this is going to allow me, it should be done in a few weeks. It's going to allow me to help so many more people, plus build this community like even tighter than it is. So if you're interested, I'm going to post something on the top. Just fill out your name, your email. When it's ready, I will contact you, tell you all about it, what it entails. But let me see if there's any more comments before I get off. So, oh, driver's license. You were saying on applications that people have a oh, did I say cleaning license? I meant driver's license. I'm sorry. Driver's license. So sometimes when people don't have driver's license, like you want to make sure they can get to work. I know people say, oh, I'll Uber. Well, after they Uber 5 days a week, they realize that the Uber cost is cutting into their paycheck. So especially if they're going to solo clean, they need to have a car. So I meant driver's license. Thank you, Kenzie, for clearing that up. Let me see any more comments. Doing personal. Yeah, we answered that one. Screen over the phone, making sense. Cassandra, indeed, I said that. Yeah, okay. If anyone has any more questions, definitely ask me. Yes, that makes sense for sure. I didn't know if I should have been looking for another one. Yep, that's what I meant. Nope, I meant driver's license. So I hope that clarifies that. So I hope this was helpful. I'm going to jump off. You can watch it on replay. They're always up here. You can scroll through the discussion. And a lot of them are in the guide section too. So separated by sales, by some mindset things, by hiring. So you can check out all the past lives as well. But I hope this was helpful. You all have an amazing, amazing evening. And I will see you all soon. All right. See you later.